right, we are here. Whew. Our last sit down of the 2024 season, ice season. We are on Lake Simcoe in the north end of the lake. It is early March, the earliest shutdown of the season we've ever had, really. You know, there's a better chance that we're going to be fishing for whitefish and lake trout from the boat before the season closes on March 15th. But that's another story. If we can do that, that's going to be great. But for now, we're doing our last ice fishing session, our last sunset ice fishing session on Lake Simcoe. We're using the thingamajig, the only lure I've used all season, literally the same exact bait. The one bait has lasted me all season, still got all of its fins. Everything is all intact. It's pretty chewed up, but still works as the same as day one. So we're going to go ahead and drop our line. Like I said, we're on Lake Simcoe. It is early March. This will be our last sit down of the season. We are on a shoal in about 19 feet of water, fishing a nice rocky bottom, hoping for whitefish, lake trout, even maybe a burbot. My hopes aren't very high, to be honest with you. It's been kind of slow for me the last few times I've been out, but I'm kind of just fishing the B-list water, the stuff where I'm comfortable getting out onto, not necessarily the best water in my opinion, but just places that I can fish safely. Conditions are rapidly changing out here. They're rapidly deteriorating. There's big drain holes all over the place out here where, you know, old people's drilled fishing holes have turned into big gaping holes capable of swallowing you whole. But as I digress, this will be our last time out on the ice, just because it's not going to get any better. So let's hope a fish comes through. And if you've watched any of my last videos, you know the best way to call these fish in is to just slowly jig, slowly lift, or you can do the high shake. Just shake it up high, you know, about 2 to 3 feet off the bottom, and just shake it. And the second we mark a fish, we're going to drop it right back down to the bottom and find that bottom and start doing the little rocking motion. And they're going to slackline the bite. They're going to pick it up off the bottom. But I like to do just a slow lift. It's one of the best ways to call them in. And then one of the other ways I like to call them in that I forgot to talk about in that last video that is titled How to Call In Fish, Tricks to Call In Fish. We forgot this one technique that I think we've all done before. And it goes a little something like this. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Here, fishy, fishy. It's one of the most proven, deadly techniques for calling in fish. 50% of the time, it works every time. It's deadly, deadly technique, and I didn't really want to, you know, let the cat out of the bag on that one, but we just, you know, we're a very transparent channel here. We like to give you all the information, give up all the juice. This was definitely one of the best techniques that we've all learned from our ancestors, how to call in fish. Just here, fishy, fishy. That's all you got to do. You can't overdo it, because if you do it too much, it starts to get a little annoying and it will bother the people in the boat with you, because they'll start to lose hope in it, thinking that it doesn't work at all. But anyone who's done it before knows it works. So just don't even worry. Don't worry about what other people think. Just use it wisely. That's the best advice I could say. Use that technique wisely. And in between doing your fish calls, you know, you could just simply do the physical calls again. Just jig up high, shake it down low, and just wait for those marks to come cruising in. What I really do like about fishing out here on these shoals, particularly, just in shoals in general, like the shallow water whitefish, if you're on a shoal, those fish are there, they mean business. So they're going to come in and give you some pretty good attention on your lure. They're going to bite pretty well every time if you're doing the right thing. You know, it's something I've talked about with this lure, especially the thingamajig. It honestly catches like 90 to 99% of the fish we mark. You know, it's pretty common that if you mark 10 fish, you're going to have 10 bites. Ugh, who's calling me at this time of day? So yeah, very common to get every fish to bite on this jig. It's been an awesome lure, definitely the MVP of the season for me. I haven't even used another lure because there's no need, no use. And I think that says a lot. If you go out on a guided trip and he's literally just using one lure, has one bait brought with him. That's what I would define as being dialed in, you know? That's what it means to be dialed. Hopefully you guys can see the LiveScope. LiveScope is the sonar I'm using here. This is the EchoMaps 95 SV with the Garmin LiveScope LVS32 transducer. And honestly, a lot of fun to use. Way better than 2D sonar. If you're fishing with 2D sonar, you're kind of fishing in the past. This is a game changer in many respects, in the sense that you can learn so much from it. You know, there's all the controversy lately of LiveScope being banned from the bass tournaments, and that's a whole nother topic to cover in another day. But something I will say is that, you know, in saltwater tournaments, they have like high stakes saltwater tournaments, billfish tournaments. They have sonar division and non-sonar division. So maybe that's something we should consider in the bass world, or maybe we just consider, you know, the bass masters all have to have the exact same rigs lined up in their boat. You know, sponsors wouldn't like that too much, but I think it would be interesting if you had every single competitor in the field had the same boat, same motors, same electronics. Like, who knows, maybe it would be good for the sponsors. It would make the sponsorships a little more competitive. Right now, the sponsorship world is a little bit too oversaturated with too many people doing things for free or doing things for discounts, and it's taking away from the guys who are actually trying to make a living from the sport. So maybe if you had more elite status on these sponsorships, like if you want to be the electronics provider for bass, you've really got to step your game up, and you've got to market to the right crowds, and you've got to, you know, jump through some hoops, per se. That could be really interesting. That's how the Bassmaster Classic used to be back in the day. They would have every competitor was in the exact same identical rigged boat, and they would send out the fleet to go and compete and see who's the best. But anyway, off the topic of LiveScope being banned, I think it's a great tool. I really love it. 2D sonar will always work. It'll always have its place. But especially in the ice fishing world, like as a guide, when I can sit here and have two people jigging a bait on either side of me, I can sit in the middle. Oh, is that a fish? No. And I can actually tell which bait the fish is going to. That's huge. Because back in the day when I'd be guiding, I'd be like going cross-eyed trying to identify the bite for 2, even 3 people in the, like, sitting there on the ice we'd have a fish come in on 2D sonar, everyone's jigging, I'd have to watch all of their rod tips at the same time. And then with the LiveScope now, it's like, okay, if there's a fish coming in, he's going to your rod, watch his rod, you're doing it wrong, okay, shake it differently, slow down, speed up, lower your rod tip, raise it up, whatever you got to do. And then you can tell when he goes over to the next guy's bait or anything like that. Like, it's just crucial to be able to tell that, and just also to be able to tell which way the fish are coming in. It's like, oh, all the fish are coming in from the left in the morning, and then in the afternoon they're coming in from the right. Kind of helps you determine like where you should be setting up your next day or what you can expect the next days. Of course, the wind is going to pick up now. It's been flat calm all day long, but the breeze wants to come in. That's okay. It's going to be an absolute beauty sunset. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. I'm really pumped for this, for the boat season to get going. I think we could potentially have the boats out in the next week or two. Really depends on what the wind does out here. A couple strong winds will break this ice up in no time, as you've already seen. In some parts of the lake, it's already been breaking up, pushing up onto shore. Well, all we need is a little more wind and it can break up the ice some more, and we can have the boats out in no time. It would be really cool to have the boat out for the whitefish and lake trout closer, which is March 15th. I don't think really anybody's ever done that. That would be kind of unique. If you have, good for you. I'm just saying, it's like a unique opportunity to be able to get into the boat for the March 15th bite. And then, like I said in one of my last videos, that once the ice is open, we're going to be doing jumbo perch trips. I'm really excited for those, getting after some monster jumbos. My ultimate goal is to get an Ontario record jumbo perch, and I know they exist. I've seen them out here. I've seen them this season when I went out with my friend Colton. Like, we saw some absolute giant perch. We did a day of shallow perch fishing, and it was just crazy. Like, you'd have a school of 113 or 12 to 13 inch perch come in, and there was like 2 to 4 fish in the pack that absolutely dwarfed the 12 and 13 inches, like dwarfed them. So meaning like these fish were legit 15, 16, 17 inch perch, just so much bigger, so much fatter. And a 13 inch perch is going to be a pound and a half. So it's not hard or not far off to say that I think the Ontario record is like 2.4 pounds. So it's not crazy to say that Simcoe's got jumbo perch in here that are bigger than that, because I've seen them with my very own eyes, just like I've seen the smallmouth bigger than that. It would be my dream to catch an Ontario record smallmouth. I've seen them with my own eyes, but with each passing year, it's been longer and longer since I've seen one of those caliber fish. Yeah, I can't tell you, like, it's been years now since I've seen one that big, just physically seen it while fighting another fish or just seen it cruising by in the water. We've seen some real big ones, but nothing of a true Ontario record status. So I start to wonder if they're still in here, but the dream is always alive. So catching a record fish would absolutely be the ultimate goal for me anyways. I think it'd be cool to have, Happy Go Fishing on the side of the list of Ontario record fish for whatever species it is. Like, I wouldn't want to just have my name on it, Callum. I would rather Happy Go Fishing be on there, you know? It's there's just something to be said. It kind of gives you a little label of status in the fishing world. It's like an achievement, you know? Quite the achievement. The sun is going down fast. Still haven't marked a fish. Come on. You gonna give us one, Mother Nature? Or are you gonna make me go home empty-handed? I don't care either way. As long as I get home, I'm happy. Not that I'm taking that much of a risk being out here. It's not that crazy. But it's one of those things where it's, you know, it's just good to be out. It's one of those things that fishermen say when they get skunked. You know, sure beats working. It's just good to be out. When you have a sunset like this, it really is just good to be out. Not gonna lie. Would love to catch a fish though. It would just be the icing on the cake for the last sit down of the season. So maybe I gotta try the fish call one more time. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. It doesn't matter if we catch one or not. Like Hank Hill says, it's not about the fish. We don't fish to fish. Bobby did what? Go. I don't know how the rest of the quote goes, but I just know that's how it starts. Like, we don't fish for the fish. Something along the lines of just being out there with your friends, having a beer, and just enjoying the scenery. It's tough to beat. You know? There's just something about a sunset. There's something about the sunrise. It'll just make you feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. So this is the last sunset I get to see on the ice. That's great. This most certainly won't be the last sunrise I see. We'll definitely get more sunrises is what I meant to say. Just because I have a great view of the sunrise every morning. I'm super lucky and super blessed for that. The sunrises and sunsets will never get old. But it's been a good season, a great season. It's been a season, a short and sweet season. Love every minute of it. You know, there were some moments where it's just like you have to stop and just stop, take a breath and take it all in and just like realize we're so blessed to be able to enjoy this, that we have this right in our backyard, wherever you live. Even if you're from like down in the city, this is still considered your backyard. And to have this right at our fingertips, moments away, it's a true blessing. So any chance you get that you can come out here, you know, it's we're lucky. We're lucky. I don't even know where I was going with that, but we're lucky to have this. I'm lucky to be sitting here. I'm lucky to have you here with me. So thank you. Thank you for watching these videos. I'm going to do my best to keep the content rolling for this off season we're going to have. So there's going to be a couple weeks of not a lot going on, but I'm going to try to come up with some interesting concepts, some interesting video ideas to talk about and to get out and try it. You know, it won't be long. I might go and do some Detroit River walleye fishing this spring. You know, that's right around the corner. The jumbo perch is right around the corner. And there's always something to do. There's always something to do if you're willing to go out and look for it. So I'm excited for what the future brings. I'm excited for the rest of the season. I want to, excuse me if you heard that. It's a little, had a big lunch. I'm thinking about trading in my boat and getting into something else, but we'll see if that comes to fruition, see if we can pull that off. I'd really like to try and trade in my boat and my truck just to get into something, an overall more fuel efficient rig. Just because in my line of work, like, efficiency is everything. So right now I have a very expensive rig. I would like to try to trade in, get something a little more reliable and fuel efficient and shiny. No, I don't really care if it shines. I just want it to perform and do its job and be there for me when I need it. So if there's any boat manufacturers out there watching, if there's any truck dealerships out there, boat manufacturers, boat dealers, truck dealerships out there looking to sponsor a tall, handsome fishing guide, I'm your guy. Hit me up. Send me a message. All business inquiries can hit me up at happygofishingcharters@gmail.com. Yes, that's plural, at happygofishingcharters@gmail.com. And yeah, let's link up. I'd love to sell some vehicles for you guys. And the sun is officially down. Another day. So funny, I'm out here like saying, it's good to put your phone down and get away from the screens and enjoy nature, but I'm just sitting out here in nature staring at another screen, really. So that's a whole another conversation topic. But I love these moments. I'm glad you're here with me. Probably not going to catch a fish. But that's okay. We don't fish for the fish. I don't even know why I came back to this spot. Like, I didn't see anything here earlier today either, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe with the sunset, maybe they'll be up here. And that's fishing. You never know where the fish are gonna be for sure. It's like when you think you know it all, when you think you've got it all figured out, the fish throw you a curveball, and you get humbled in this sport real quick. But if you can come out here and just enjoy the scenery, enjoy being out, that's what it's all about. It's like catching fish is awesome. Catching fish is the name of the game. That's what gives us the adrenaline rush. That's what the excitement is all about. But there's the old saying, like, you got to have your bad days to make the good days good. If you just came out and caught fish all day, every single day, it's like it wouldn't nearly be as exciting when you come out and catch them. You have to come out here and get humbled and work for them and try new things and try new spots in order to, get better at fishing and just to keep that same level of excitement too. You can't just catch them all the time, every time. It's like it makes it that much sweeter after you've been humbled a few times. Think like, can I still catch fish? And then you go out and absolutely hammer them. It's like, that feels great. I find like fishing is a lot like golf. What was that? I got geese flying by. Fishing is a lot like golf in the sense that, like, when you have your best day ever fishing, and if you have your best day ever golf, probably a lot of sports, I guess, are the same. I'm not sure. But I've always thought kind of similar to golf, that you have your best day golfing, best day fishing. You want to go out and duplicate your best day and even like improve on it. See that you can do better than that, And then the same goes for your worst day ever. If you have your worst day golfing and your worst day fishing, it's like, yeah, you might get a little disgruntled and mad about it and whatever, like turned off slightly from it, but it's still going to bring you back for more, so you can prove to yourself that you do know how to play, you do know how to catch fish. So it's one of those things where You have your best day ever, it's going to bring you back for more, to duplicate your best day ever. You have your worst day ever, it's going to bring you back to more, for more, so you can improve on your worst day ever again. It's like, it's never enough. You're always going to be chasing the dragon. You're always going to be brought back to more, whether it was your best day out your last time or it was your worst day out your last time. At least that's my take on it anyways. I'm sure there's some people that say after a bad round of golf, they're never going back. I'm honestly like surprised I haven't seen any fish here. Like, come on. Such a great spot. Such a great shoal. The fish have moved away on me, which is crazy. Where would they go? Where would they go? Who knows? But let's enjoy the sunset. The last one out here. Last one out here on the sun. On the last sunset out here of the year. On the ice. That's what I was trying to say. Hey, fishy, fishy, fishy. Hey, fishy, fishy, fishy. Hey, fishy, fishy, fishy. Come on. Come on. Come on, fishy. Yeah? Nothing? Nothing? Oh man, that's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's like a whole flock of birds. What is that? I doubt the camera picked that up. Is that birds? Jeez. It's like 1,000 little tiny birds, maybe even bats. I don't know what the heck that was. Just flew by. You might have saw them. I don't know. But that was pretty cool. I could hear them before I could see them. Little critters. Wow, I didn't even realize this fell off. Why didn't you tell me the mic fell off, hey? Just kidding. Looks like no fish for me this evening, but it was an absolute gorgeous sunset. I'm really blessed that we got to see it. Thank you for joining me, and I can't wait to do it again. If you made it this far in the video, you're a real one. I got mad love for you. Thank you for spending this time with me, and we'll see you in the next video. Ugh. Skunked again.